What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, all the likes, all the comments, all the feedback, all the support. Thank you so much, man. It's greatly appreciated. You know, uh, thank you. I think God told you, might have felt that I'm not showing my gratitude to the people in the audience or anybody that supports me or rocks with me. I do. That's why my intros it's always thank you to everybody that rocks with me. Day ones, new subscribers, your feedback, your inputs. You know, that's why I start my videos off thanking, the people that support me and watch the videos. But I do support other people, like, people that join the panel, like God Soldier, Young Blood, you know, they help out a lot as well. I know it's a Sunday, Easter, and people are with their families and kids. I'm doing the same thing as well. But before I do the, you know, Easter egg hunt with my son and my little grandkid, I wanted to do a quick live, just to share my thoughts with y'all. These are my thoughts, might be wrong, might be right, but it's my thoughts. These guys have been lurking in the background. They're just lurking. They're waiting for the other shoe to fall and drop so they can try to rebuild. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to press the issue on the victim coming out just yet. I'm not going to do that. It's like the Fuji song, "Killing Me Softly." You know what I mean? Uh, it's going to have to be slow. I'm not in no rush. My thing is, I got to keep my ace up my sleeves. I can't just quickly unload. I just can't do that type of stuff because then it'll give them an opportunity to grow. Right now they're just looking for any kind of any weakness, uh, any kind of way to try to spin the narrative they want. But I'm not gonna. I'm not. That's why I'm not gonna press the victim to come out just yet. Not yet. Not yet. Because if I put everything on the table like how Mark says, I laid everything out on the table. They can still grow from that. They can still grow. So it's better just to, keep that kryptonite in my pocket and use it at the right time. In the meantime, Hips will be coming on, Honey Bun, and whoever else has anything to say about that documentary and wants to, speak on it. But as far as the victim, no, that victim's, I'm putting that victim on the back burner. I was thinking about it. I woke up in the middle of the night. Something told me to get up and brainstorm. So I had to get up and brainstorm. I'm saying these guys are silent because they're plotting and scheming in the background. They're waiting for their moment to pounce. I can't give them that moment. I can't give them that moment. So the victim is going to get put on the back burner. I'm not going to push the issue on that. Not just yet. Not yet. Not yet. Because that's going to be my ace in the hole. That's my wild card. I can't just expose that hand. Not yet. It has to be precise, surgical. You know what I mean? It has to be. It can't just be thrown out there real quick just because I'm feeling some type of way. That'll give these guys plenty of opportunity to grow. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You see, Fleece can do that type of stuff. He can go do interviews and whatnot, make it a mockery because he don't have no, there's no victims out there, or they're not. There might be. So Fleece was able to grow because there was no victims out there speaking up on him. There's nobody speaking up on Fleece. There's nobody showing documentaries about Fleece. There's nobody making a ruckus out of Fleece. It's more of a, oh man, it's acceptable culture now. What he was doing to other men. If he was doing it to other women, then it'd be outspoken and written about it. But since he's doing it to man behind bars, it's and then you got people with platforms uh making comical scenes out of it. You got Muslims in the background praying while this guy's talking about cheeks. It's just a mockery of the whole thing all the way around. You know what I mean? But Fleece was like cancer. He was able to grow and grow and grow and grow. You see, he still continue to grow. Now he's doing interviews. Now he's coming on other platforms. Mark can't do that. Not yet. That's why the victim's going to stay in my pocket. The victim's going to stay in my pocket. I'm not, because the victim's not going to be too happy. I don't want to press the issue yet. I don't want to press the issue just yet. I want Mark to start making noise. So then I can just collapse it. I can just tear that shit down. See, like right now, they're in the building phase. They're still trying to build. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. They don't have no ammo. They don't have no narrative. They don't have nothing. So they wish so bad. They wish so bad that I would just get out the picture. They hate me so bad. And I love it. I love it, man. I've never felt this much hate other than when I was on the block. When I was on the street, the corner. People felt that envy, that hate, that jealousy. Wish they were in my spot. Telling me to stop. Calling the cops on me. Trying to do any kind of bully tactics that they can. But it's sad to say that I control the narrative. I got the victim in my pocket. And it is good. Let's see, let's let Mark grow. Let him grow. So I come in here like a bulldozer, start bulldozing shit down. I want him to build so I can show the victims, man, look at this guy. He's glorifying the shit y'all were doing. He's out there trying to make a penny off of y'all. Glorifying, saying, 2 handfuls. Man, this guy even got some merch out there of y'all guys. Of what he did to y'all. So I want Mark to start growing. That's why I'm not going to bring out the victims. See, because I had to sit there and brainstorm and think and think and think and think. Something got me out of bed last night and said, these guys are just plotting and scheming while you sleeping. You're asleep while these guys are plotting and scheming. You can't let that happen. You got to get back up on your toes. So I had to sit there and start thinking, what's these guys' agendas? Well, their agenda is they're waiting to rebuild. They can't build right now. They can't. Nobody wants to interview this guy. Nobody's going to take the chance, man. This guy's known for being a sexual deviant. Fleece, he got away with it because there's nobody out here really talking about Fleece. There really ain't nobody. See, the victim has a lot of power. The victim has a lot of power. So let's put that power back on that back burner. Let's not bother it to it's the right time, the proper time. You know, it's gonna be. I started thinking, these guys can't build. They're lurking. They're lurking in the background. They can't build. At this moment, they cannot build and create with Mark. They just can't. It's impossible. Because it's not gonna happen. You know, the victims need to know that these guys are out here trying to make a profit of what these guys did to them. You can't do that. You can't be making money off the shit you did to these people, man. You fucked up these guys' lives. You said it yourself. And now that you fucked up their life, you try to make a mockery and try to make a penny off of it. And anybody that's trying to stand behind you, try to make a penny off of that. I can't allow it, man. Can't allow it to happen. If I can do anything about it, then fuck it, I will do about it. Cause this is it's about right or wrong. To me, it ain't about money. It ain't about believe me, if it was about money, I'd be taking God Soldier's advice. What did God Soldier say yesterday? Oh man, it's like a rapper, man. A rapper does a feature with another rapper, and you might get known. But I don't need to do no feature. I don't need to be known. I don't need to collaborate with anybody else unless you're going to be on the same page. Unless you're going to be collaborating on exposing. Unless you're going to say, hey, you know what, man? I got some resources of my own, and I see you got some resources of yours. Let's team up our resources together and let's try to bring the truth. Well, yeah. Then you're thinking alike. Then I would be like, oh fuck yeah, man, hit me up. Let's talk about it. But as far as to collaborate with the opposition, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? To sit there and collaborate with them and be like, hey, well, all this time they had a smear campaign against me. It's like, no, man, y'all are gonna continue being the ops, and I'm gonna be the one continue fucking up the game. Y'all gonna really hate me. Y'all already hate me as it is, but y'all really gonna hate me. The hate to where y'all gonna have to go seek for black magic, that type of hate, that deep hate. That you're gonna go take a shower in a chicken's blood. That's how much hate you got for me. I love it, man. It feels good. It feels good to be able to embrace it. So if y'all just tuning in, the victim's going on the back burner. That's my nuclear, man. That's my Hiroshima. So I'm in no rush now. Now that I've seen the whole agenda clearly, it's longevity, right? It's like Nipsey said, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not who gets there, but who gets there. I've been chunking them out there, trying to get to the bottom too soon. But I'm not going to bring it out just yet. It's not the time. It's not the time. I need Mark to start promoting himself more. I need Mark to start making merch. I'll have to let nature take its course. I can't rush it. See, I've been trying to rush it. I've been trying to rush it. And in that time, I've been blindsided. And I kind of like lost track of the whole, not really lost track, but I kind of, I got tunnel vision. Now I got woken up in the middle of the night. Something just told me to get up, man, and start thinking, man, start looking at the bigger picture. And conversations with people helps plant those seeds. Robert Delgado, he's still in Texas prisons right now. And he's the one that planted that seed about thinking big. What type of, information do I want to be? False, my own narrative? Do I just want to tell the truth and let the people decide? So I had to start looking at the big picture. I'm like, these guys, they're lurking. They're waiting for the perfect opportunity to start building, start promoting. If you throw all your cards at them, you're going to be run. All you're going to have is a slingshot with no rocks. You can't throw all your rocks at one time. You see, that's the mistake they did. They put that shit on fully auto, trying to knock me down. That they ran out of ammo. They ran out of substance and value. All they can do now is spin their own false narrative. That's it. That's it. And it's sad to say that, Just Jay, he's caught on to that. And last night when I was listening to Just Jay talk, I'm like, if Just Jay feels that way, I wonder how many other people feel that way. So I guess it's good to let, other people join the panel. That way you can, kind of figure out where they stand at and, their opinion. So I'm like, all this stuff, I had to sit back and analyze the situation, but you gotta give thanks to people, man. God puts people in your life, people plant seeds that, if the devil or God wants it to nourish it and flourish it, they'll do it, man. Just like that evil seed of Mark got planted and he continued to let it grow and grow into what he is now. Them seeds get planted and they can either be good or bad. I'm thankful that God's put, people that are more knowledgeable and more wisdom in my life that I can reach out to and be like, look, check it out, man. Look, what do you think? What's your take on this? And when he says think big, uh, it's almost like, open up your eyes, stop being tunnel vision, go sit down, drink your cup of coffee, analyze and go from there, let nature take its course. You're trying to rush things to try to please my feelings on just because on how these guys are making me feel. So I needed to start evaluating and be like, no, if you do this, you do that, you're doing it too soon. Right now, they can still rebuild. Just like I said it, I told y'all numerous times. After this Mark and saga, everybody's gonna have to rebuild. Everybody. That's why I'm not too worried about bringing new content. I'm not worried about bringing new stuff. Because once this Mark saga ends, I'm going to stop posting for a few days. And then once the people that are left behind are behind and they still support and still rock with you, then you can start bringing new stuff to the masses. That's why I'm not too concerned about bringing new content. There's content up the ass everywhere. Everywhere there's content, and especially if you have sources from inside the Texas prison. This guy's done 50 years, man. That's a very insight, knowledgeable person just on the history of Texas prisons. And this guy was a high rank of the Texas syndicate. He's not just no run around mill guy that, oh, he just did time, he's talking out his neck. No, he was about that. A stomp down, we all know what these guys are. They're not no pushover. So that's why I'm not too worried when people say, "Oh, you're not gonna." No, man. Every channel's gonna have to rebuild after this Mark shit. Every channel's gonna have to unless you're gonna be in that booty bandit genre, which I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in that booty bandit genre. Talking about cheeks get it took in or stuff like that. I mean, it's good to talk about it, but not like as far as I've been doing with Mark. You know, and that's just being real. I'm not going to sit here and be, oh, no, no, no. It's just being real, man. You got to be real with yourself and with everybody else. I don't want to be, it's the same way. I don't want to be categorized into the gang or prison genre. I wanted to be a podcast where, talking about life issues, lifestyles, cultures, daily issues, world issues, just have simple conversation with like-minded people. That's it. I don't want to come on here talking about street politics or prison politics. No. But if somebody belongs to an organization and they want to tell their story, hey, why not? I'm not here to glorify it or promote it. But like I said, it's like everybody was talking about, God soldier. But that's God soldier's testimony, man. We all have a past. We all have a past. That's why, I was reading the comments and people calling God soldier this and that. And like, but we all have a past, man. We're not all perfect. But see, people, I God soldier was to me was just basically telling me his testimony. That's the way I see when people tell me their life, I take it as them telling me their testimony, man. Like if somebody was standing on top of a church pulpit telling their story, to me that's their testimony. I'm not gonna sit there and belittle the man or clown him or laugh about his testimony because who am I? I might ask him some questions about it and be like, hey, why would you do it? Or, how long, but I'm not going to sit there and call him all you and make him feel less of a person of what he is or just because he's telling me his testimony. And that's the thing, man. That's what I don't understand about people. You try to tell people your life. So maybe that it can help somebody else. And cowards try to use it against you. Like we know we went through it, man. You don't have to remind us. Like you don't have to make us try to feel any type of way. Like, but that's what cowards do, instead of sitting there and learning and be like, hey, keep your opinion or your comments to yourself. But maybe his testimony could have helped somebody else. Maybe somebody in the audience could have probably been going through what he's going through. Because a lot of us might seem like we're the only ones or the first ones going through it. And fuck no. If you can think about it, somebody's already done it. If you can think about it, somebody's already done it. It's just that simple. We're not the first one. We're not. We're it's far. It's very far and few that get to reinvent the wheel. You got like people like Steve Jobs. You got fucking Elon Musk. These guys come very far in between. That literally reinvent the wheel. Something they bring something to them. Other than us regular Joes out here, we're not doing nothing normal than the last man was doing 100 years ago. It's very far and few in between the people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, these characters, Einstein, that come and do an impact on life that, change people's life. So I had to sit back and analyze, man, and be like, if you start dropping everything and you start unloading your clip, there's going to come to a point that you run out of ammo. And then what? At that time, the opposition could have been growing and growing, eating, festering and festering, festering until they're a fucking pile of shit that you can't step on. So that's what I woke up to. I'm like, nah, man. The victim has to go on the back burner. It's not the right time. It's not the right time for the victim to come out. It's not. I think what I got right now, and finding the other victims, other people that are in there, like William, Hips, whoever else there in the meantime that I find to keep him under control. Basically, be the gatekeeper. If I don't grow, he don't grow. I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with that. If he doesn't grow and I don't grow, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'll be the gatekeeper. I'll be the gatekeeper of Mark. I guess that's what I signed up for. Not to let him grow. I woke up and I seen the video with Fleece. I'm like, man, this is just sickening, man. It's okay for Fleece to have his channel and talk about it, but once people start paying him to put him on their platform to talk about the shit that they did to the victims, now that's a little bit, beyond overboard, man. Because now it's like, now you're promoting it, man. Now you're saying, okay, you're okay with what these guys did. You're promoting it. That's Fleece. Fleece can have his own channel. If people tune into his own channel or whatnot, hey, that's everybody's right. But when people from other channels, what's going on, RG6? But when other platforms start paying Fleece to get on their platform to start saying these idioticies and this all this disturbing shit that he says. Yes, it's comical and funny, but you got to imagine at the time of the people that were doing it. If you were the victim, would you think it was funny? If that victim was your son or your brother or cousin or nephew, would you think it was funny? That's the thing, man. That like people have been desensitized to the next person's feelings, and it makes it even easier that you don't even know them. That hey, they're millions and millions of wow on YouTube. That if you don't have no feelings for the person next door to you, shit, you can care less about the dude that's on YouTube millions and millions of miles away from you. So people don't care about the victims. They care about the then and there, the gratification of feeling of some jokes, some laughter for them at the expense of the victims of Fleece and Mark. And that's sad, man. That's sad. You know, that's sad. Because it's like I was watching. Has anybody watched that the New Mexico prison riot? The prison riot that happened in 1980. It's on YouTube, man. I was gonna do a reaction video to it. You know, I laughed. I laughed when I was watching that documentary, right? On what they did to the snitches, right? And then they interview a so-called snitch, and the dude looked like a fucking snitch all the way in the 70s and 80s. His persona and the way he looked what a fucking snitch would look in today's day. He had the features of a snitch back in the 80s. So I laughed, because I'm like, it's funny to me. So I can understand laughing at somebody else's expense. If you know what they did to them people in New Mexico, it's kind of foul what they did to them. But at the same time, that's prison. They were snitches. You can't go into prison. The inmates already got to deal with the administration. And then for the inmates to start dealing with inmates to tell on them, they're asking for that. The snitchers are putting themselves in that situation. Now the victims, as far as Mark's victims and Flea's victims, man, they didn't put themselves in that situation. They weren't snitching. They were forced. These snitches snitch on themselves, man. They do it because they want privileges. They want a reduction of time. They want something. So a lot of these snitches, they put themselves in that situation to where, hey, you become a snitch. You know what that saying is: snitches get stitches. So you put yourself in that situation by being a snitch. So you got to accept the repercussions that come with that, right? Hey, you steal, you go to jail. So same thing. So what they did to the victims, to the snitches, I laughed, right? So I understand the nature of us humans. It's sad that we get a kick out of other people's demise. So that's why Mark can't uh Mark can't be the next big thing. He can't. Fleece, he got lucky because nobody's really speaking up on Fleece. You got very far in between people that'll make a video about him. And even then they'll make a video and they'll leave it alone. Not like Mark. I haven't left it alone. And I'm not going to. Because like I said, this is therapeutical for me, man. I don't have to go to the therapist. Therapists are fucking expensive, man. And it's helped me out so much, being able to just talk, just basically venting and letting people know how I feel, my thoughts. People that I'm never going to see. Only people are only they're going to have their own judgment about me. And that's fine. That's their right. But Mark ain't, I can't let him grow. I was throwing everything out there, trying to get to the truth too quick. Too quick. And at the same time, I'm like, man, you run out of ammo, these guys can grow. So you got to keep that ace up your sleeve at all times, man. Just keep it up there. Even when times come tough and you want to throw it out there, don't do it yet if it ain't the right time. If the pot ain't big enough, keep that sleeve up in your, keep that ace up on my sleeve. The pot ain't big enough yet right now. I thought it was because of my emotions. but it's not. The pot ain't big enough yet for me to drop that bombshell, that Hiroshima. So I need to take the time clock off and put it on the back burner. I know it's there because Mark right now, he's lurking. You see, he don't come out. He don't appear himself. He don't appear, right? He got all these other people speaking out for him. Every other day it's somebody new trying to speak up for Mark. Every day. So Mark is like a big old coward right now. He's just lurking in the background, lurking, lurking. And everybody else that's with them, Dante, June, they don't like the idea that I figured them out so quick and that I isolated myself. It sucks, it's almost like how Israel's in the middle and surrounded by enemies. They isolated themselves. Not because they want to, but it's for to protect themselves, man. They got people throwing rockets over there every day. The Iron Dome. So I had to build my own Iron Dome. But God, God got you, man. When it's meant and God got you, man, it's gonna be unstoppable, man. It's gonna be unstoppable. And also, I need to get right with God, man. I need to get right with God. And maybe then uh, he'll guide me a little bit better. And maybe he'll guide me. You know what I mean? Basically, that's it. I won't be doing it for my needs or for my feelings, but it'll be for what he puts in my heart to do. And that's where I've been going wrong lately. I've been trying to get to the truth from what these guys, did to me. And I kind of lost sight of the victims. I kind of lost sight of be like, man, why did you do that? That's when Robert Delgado, his name, he's known, man. People in Texas prisons know this. They know this man. And he told me, like, well, what do you want to do it for, man? Do you want to do it for the money? Do you want to do it do you want to do it to help the people out? What do you want to do it for? And see, and God puts people in your place, man, to fucking open your eyes and ask you these questions that you're not asking yourself. So it takes somebody that you respect to question you and for you to sit there and open up your eyes and be like, all right, what's the purpose? What are you really doing it for? He's asking you, and you have to reply. So that's why, I had to wake up, and think, what am I really doing it for? And that's why I'm deciding to put the victim on the back burner. Time, nature will take its course. I have the victim. He's found. So the best thing is, continue what I'm doing with what I have and whatever I find down the road. Because right now it's not the time to drop the Hiroshima. It's not. It's not. I need Mark to start promoting himself. I need to be able to have something that'll burn and get these guys' blood boiling. So time is on my side. But not really, because my medical issues, but time. Let nature take its course. Don't rush it. I was rushing it too much. I wanted to feel gratification instantly, right? I wanted to feel that. I wanted that I told you so moment so bad that I was unloading too much, too much, too much, too much. Now I just gotta sit back. I don't even have to play offense no more or defense. I just gotta sit back. I don't have to play offense or defense. I don't have to defend against nothing. They can do whatever they want. As far as the offense, I don't need to score a touchdown at the moment. I'm happy with the field goal. And let's run the quarterback again. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the field goal. I think I built a strong enough team. Even through my team is not as big as the other team, but you know that saying, man. It's quality over quantity. I'd rather have one stomp down dude than 10 flunkies. So it's always quality over quantity. Yeah, that's the thing. But some people, it's just like Just Jay said. Dante, he's a good storyteller, a good narrator. He spins his kind of narrative he wants. Just Jay, I'm surprised Just Jay was like, yeah, I know what he does. He's a good, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that opened up my eyes that if somebody that Just Jay just popped up onto the scene, I'm pretty sure people that have been watching from the beginning already know that guy's full of shit. And that's why it sucks, man. You know, it sucks that people can get on YouTube and try to spin any kind of narrative. This is another perfect example, right? Of people trying to spin their own narrative. Grimson was locked up in Alabama, right? He's a white boy. And according, if you were to say that every white boy goes through what Mendenhall and Hips goes through, then you would say that Grimson would probably have gone through the same thing, right? So you can spin any kind of narrative and say, hey, you know what? He could have been a boy. He could have been a boy. He could have been a boy. And that sucks, right? That sucks. That sucks, man. That anybody can get on YouTube and spin any kind of narrative they want. And you can fuck up people's lives. You can damage people's relationships by doing that type of stuff, man. That's why I left it alone, because it's like that's not me, man. I don't go over there looking for shit on people. I'm not uh doing facial recognition on people, trying to find out who they are. I'm not doing none of that shit other than Mark. I'm not looking for nobody other than Mark. It has always been about Mark. I don't make videos about anybody just to make them. That was more of me making a defensive videos, right? I'm defending. I would make defensive mode videos, right? So that's why at this point I'm like, man, you don't need to be defensive. You don't need to be under offensive. Right now, you just need to sit back and let them do them. Let them do them. Be the gatekeeper. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. Wait for them. Wait for them. Because that's what they're doing. They're lurking in the background. So I need to start lurking too. I need to start lurking. Because that's what they're doing. They're waiting to see what I'm going to do. So they can build off of what I do. I've been giving them that. I had to sit back and think last night. I mean, you're giving them too much plays. So sit back. You know, you already got the main characters. You got them. Now it's up to you on how you want to, do you want to rush into it? You want to take time? I said, I'm going to take time. Because we all know, man, when you do things in a rush, majority of the times they might come out all right, but they don't come out the way you want it to, man. Let's be realistic. So it's better to take your time. Even through it might come out all right, we don't want all right. We want perfect. We're shooting for perfection. Happy Easter to you, Rita. Yeah, I'm about to go hide some eggs for my boy and my grandkid and spend time with my loved ones. You know. Yeah, God Soldier was, man, but that's God Soldier, man. You can't God Soldier's he's God Soldier, man. Everybody that's tuned in should already know how God Soldier is, man. But you can't take advantage of a man that's drunk. You can't sit there and pick a fight, or you can't sit there. Even though he might say something stupid to you, you got to be the bigger person and try to diffuse the situation, man. Because you're not gonna feel right, man. It's like you fighting a drunk person, knowing that you can physically whoop the person, and then you fucking whoop them. Then you're like, man, you're gonna feel bad because you might have went a little bit too overboard because you're not sober and he's fucking drunk. He's not defending himself like he should because he's drunk. And then you're taking advantage and you give the dude a whooping, and then you're like, oh man, you feel bad afterwards because you're like, man, the dude wasn't even fighting back. So I'm not that type of guy. I don't like, I'm an opportunist to a certain extent. I'm not going to take advantage. It's easy to take advantage of somebody. Perfect example is what they do to God Soldier over there. When God Soldier joins their life, they see that he's twisted and they take advantage of him to try to get a negative reaction out of him. And that's cowardly because you're pushing people's buttons to try to get a negative reaction, knowing that they're drunk. And that's no difference than you seeing a female drunk and trying to move on her, knowing that if she was sober, you probably wouldn't have a chance. But since you're a person that takes advantage, you make your move on that drunk woman. See, all these, it's all similarities, it's all patterns. People that do the same shit, they do that. So it's like, it's an opportunity to me is like, you see a ATM or uh, you see somebody ATM, you see them ATM dudes working on the ATM and you're like, man, fuck it. If I just rolled up, I could probably get away with it. That's an opportunity that, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that ever thought about that. You see them ATM dudes out there and you're like, fuck, if I was doing bad, I'd probably just jump out on him too right now. I know I'm not the only guy that's ever seen them ATM dudes out there and said, hey, fuck it, let me try to get one of them guys. Man, or that thought just run through your crowd, the back of your mind and said, man, if I had a, you know, uh, could it, just the what if. Because it sounds good, man. You're looking at all that money right there. You're like, man, fuck. His back's turned. He's not really paying attention. What if I could do it real quick? Yeah. See, he's right. Just Jay's right. Because they want God Soldier to crash out so bad. They either want him to be on a homophobic rant or a racist rant. And that to me is kind of, that's messed up, man. Why are you going to take advantage of somebody? Why are you going to use somebody for your own agenda and purpose to try to prove a point? That's just, I don't get it. I don't know. When I say I'm emotional, I'm not saying I'm an emotional person like I cry or I'm angry. No, man. I tend to worry about the next person's feelings too much, even without knowing them. I don't know. It's always been like that. I hate watching movies because I hate watching the ending. It's just I care about the next man or the next person, regardless. And that's why I say, I'm emotional. I'm not emotional that I react on anger or feelings. No, I just when I see somebody going through it, it bothers me. It's just I'm an emotional person. It sucks because it seems like people's problems become my problems. And I know God soldier means well. He just he believes in what he believes in, and that's some people are just gonna be that way. But sometimes you just have to sit there and be like, hey, you don't have to. You can at least be cordial with people you don't agree on, man. Just because you have different lifestyles doesn't mean. I mean, I've never been insecure about my manhood to where like, I've had, you know, when I was younger, I had gay customers, so that it never bothered me. Some of my top customers were gay, were gay dudes. I had white computer guys that lived in the gay area of Turtle Creek in high rises. So I've never had any kind of conflict with these people. If anything, these people have always been cool with me. Anytime I needed a place to run from the cops or they'd like, come over, man. They were never they were cool. But at the same time, they were respectful towards me. They wouldn't be trying to push themselves on me or telling me homophobic jokes or stuff like that. They knew that I wasn't with that, and they wouldn't push the lines. Some dudes I wouldn't know until they would tell me. Uh, some guys would be like, "Hey, can you bring me a girl?" I'm like, "What do you want a girl for?" He's like, "Man, I need somebody to smoke with." Can you find a girl that will come over here and smoke with me? So I'll be like, fuck it, I go find you any kind of crackhead I find you any kind of crackhead chick off the street, man. And as long as you say you're gonna support her habit with you, fuck it. They're all game. So that's how I would find out a lot of these guys what they were into, right? Because the girls would tell me, like, no, that guy's a real freak. He wanted me to, do this, do that to him. That's how I would know. And then once they would tell me, I would question. I'm like, man, why? He's like, oh man, because I didn't think you weren't into that. I'm not into that, man. But I don't want you to think that I'm against it. Because shit, you're bringing me money. You know, he's like, yeah, man. 'Cause, these girls, I was going through them, and I realized that they were always taking something off the top on both end. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, I don't care if you're gay. I want those $200. Them $200 ain't gay. I want those $200 because you going to the girls being middlemen. They're taking $100 from them, and then they're coming over here and getting 100 of me, and then they're giving you back 50. So you're getting screwed fucking two times. I'm getting screwed because I'm losing money. So I never had a problem with these characters, man. Never. And they were always like the best paying ones. People would tell me, hey, can you loan me till payday? Yes, sure enough, man. I'll loan you whatever you want till payday. Payday come, I wouldn't have to call them. They would be calling me. They'd be calling me, hey, come on by and pick up your money. And if you can, bring me another one. I've never had any, bad experiences with these guys. I've never had anyone like try to hit on me in prison. Nothing like that. So I don't see why God Soldier, hates these guys so much. I don't see other than, you know, their sexual preference. I don't care what you do in your bedtime, man. I don't, because I'm not gonna be in there. I don't care what you do in your bedroom because I'm not gonna be in there. All I care is that you respect me and I respect you. That you don't you that you know the lines. You know that I like females. I know you like males. I'm not gonna come and flirt with you. I don't expect you to come and flirt with me. That simple. What the Harry the Pit, man? You need to lay off that stuff, man. That's why I was asking God Soldier, man, like what makes you go to those type of shit, man? Like I don't like uppers. I've never liked uppers. Uppers is, soft, hard, ice, uh, Adderall, any kind of shit that makes you antsy, I don't like. Cause I'm already natural fucking like paranoid. I'm already a fucking I'm already I already have them fucking symptoms of somebody being on that shit, like paranoid and always thinking and just the same symptoms them tweakers be having. I just normally have it. I'm always on my toes. I'm always thinking and just paying attention and you know always paying attention, always looking at the what ifs at every angle. So you can say I'm kind of fucking paranoid, right? So I don't need that type of shit. I don't I'm I don't need no Red Bull or coffee because I'm literally just like that. but I have lately. But once I get my medication on the 30th, let me see how many more days I got. Well, I got 10 more days because I've been off this medication for like 2 months because they've been trying to figure it out and they try this, try that. But I'm hopefully I get back on my medication. Uh, I start feeling a lot better, man. I start getting my motivation and my energy back. Yeah, man. Well, I started drinking coffee when I went to prison. What's up, puppy? Okay, guys, I'll be back, man. My little grandkids here. And it's time to go Easter hunting. Y'all have a good one.